714,075. Less the current liabilities, which have you bank overdraft, sundry creditors accruals, which totals to 518,206 against 3,600,205.
The GNOC is now working towards reports of 2010 and 2011 as according to its president. Along with that and many other issues, the Bureau will be aiming to strengthen its image as a true champion of our national sports development. For GRTS News, I am Debuso.
Well, you can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Well, time now to take our first break. When we come back, we'll take a look at news from outside the Gambia.
This Ramadan, AfriCell brings you many services to make your Ramadan a very special one. With the AfriCell Prayer Time service, now you can subscribe by typing SUB and send it by SMS to 7120 to receive an SMS reminder 5 minutes before each prayer time for $1 per day only. Also this Ramadan, you can receive different kinds of prayers on your AfriCell line with the Prayer of the Day service by simply sending a blank SMS to 7122 and receive 2 text messages containing a translated and a transliterated version of the prayer for $1 only. All this and more. With your AfriCell line, you can now listen to the Holy Quran recitation by simply calling 2153, follow the voice prompt, and dial the number of the surah you want to listen to followed by the hash key for 50 bututs per minute only. And live in your Ramadan this year with the Prayer of the Day, the Prayer Times Reminder, and the Quran recitation service from AfriCell. May all your prayers be answered.
Welcome back. Reports coming out of Syria say government tanks have withdrawn from the flash town of Hama, but the crackdown on peaceful protesters is continuing. Angry anti-government protesters say they are determined to end the 50-year Assad dynasty. Authorities in Damascus have meanwhile arrested Abdel Karim Rehawi, the president of the Syrian Human Rights League. We have details in this report.
There are 4 martyrs. No, they're still alive. The crackdown is continuing in towns across Syria. On Thursday, 16 people were killed by soldiers. The government has chosen to ignore the violence by broadcasting messages about things being calm in Hama, for example.
Many families left the center of Hama when the troops entered the city. But now most of them are coming back. As for goods and materials, we have ample supplies of bread and vegetables.
The tanks have pulled out of Hama, but the city at the heart of the protest movement cannot wipe away their passage there. Those who speak out remain determined.
They have ruled us for 50 years. God willing, we address Bashar al-Assad. We will remove you by force. Look at us. We have nothing. They attacked us with planes and tanks, with all they had. We have nothing.
Human rights organizations say that more than 1,600 civilians have been killed since the protests began in March. Some 12,000 people have been arrested. They include Samar Yazbek, a well-known Syrian novelist. Today in exile in France, she spoke out about the torture sessions back home.
In jail, I saw young men getting beaten up like animals. They were turned to a cell. Their faces were bloody, their noses broken, and their eyes were swollen. They were lying on the floor.
Her testimony makes the arrest on Thursday of the president of the Syrian Human Rights League even more worrisome. Thanks to his network of activists throughout the country, Abdel Karim Rehawi was a vital source of information for the foreign press. France has called for his release.
Time now to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at sports.
pour joxe ketab luma ket go xamne dafa am 3 master bedroom Amat kër ga fan la nekk.
mu nga Diamond Estate nekk Old Yundum.
ah déedéet kay.
ñaareeli pire bi xam nga lan la.
déedéet.
oto bu ñoo wax seri Jeep 4x4. bu bees tàq. yaa koy dajji si mbuus. ñetteeli price gi.
waaw.
gars yi teg nañ juróomi ticket af Angleterre.
déedéet
yoo xam ne boo amut visa wala bëgguloo dem Angleterre ñu yot la xaalis gi. ñeneenteeli price ñaari junne juróomi téeméer af Angale ci ñaari téeméeri nit ñu gagné. juróomeeli price gi junneb saakob maale ñu jox ko junneb nit ku ne benn saakob maalo. génneel téeméer af Angale rek jënd ticket gi. te xam nga lu ci gën a neexam. boo jëndee ticket gi.
waaw
ba pare.
waaw
fañam time yoo xam ne fa ñoo nekk si télé gi di def panel discussion nit ñi di woote gi nga boo wootee bañ la na allo.
waaw
gaañal.
nee allo rek.
salaaw.
ama Diamond Properties. mooy bolom doole xamul ndànk.
Welcome back. The coach of the senior national team, Paul Putt, has disclosed that the win against DR Congo on Wednesday will boost the Scorpions' bid to adequately prepare ahead of their crunch final round of qualifiers against both Namibia and group leaders Burkina Faso. The Scorpions, who in 3 weeks' time will play Namibia away in Windhoek for the 2012 Nations Cup qualifiers, are aiming to win their final group games to have any chance of qualifying for the Gabon Equatorial Guinea tournament. Ndei Busso has more on that story in this report.
Born tactician has hailed the efforts of his boys in the 3-0 win over the Democratic Republic of Congo, played Wednesday at the Independence Stadium in Bakau.
It was very good. We saw it on training ground that it was a possibility to play like this. So and they did it and they proved it on the game side. So it gives also to a coach more possibilities to make changements during the game tactically or to start the game. So give also concurrence to the players so that they know that they have to be there for 200%.
For a team that has had a mixed bag of results in 2011, the resounding 3-0 victory over DR Congo surprised some, but Coach Paul Putt says Gambians should have confidence in the team's ability to fly the Gambia's flag on the global football stage.
I don't think there is one coach who can say to his players, now you have to score 5 or 6 goals before the game. That's not possible. The attention before the game we had was to try to put as much pressure as possible at Congo side and then make the individual action where it should be, make the changements, changing from sides, things like that, and they did it wonderful. And I also asked him to try to come into the box. If you see the first goal from Tian, was a wonderful goal.
Coach Paul Putt still remained optimistic on the Gambia's qualification to its first ever Nations Cup competition.
So they can come on the game very relaxed. We will play the game with a lot of pressure because we have to win. But I'm not going to force the players to say we have to go for 3-4-0. We will see how the game goes and hopefully we can score the game and then we will see. But I'm not going to play blind like a fool and say attack, attack, and then they counter you, you receive a goal. For
Ibrahim Masona of Sandefjord Football in Norway, the win against Congo will inject greater confidence in the team after a difficult few months of some poor results.
It means a lot, you know, and not only know about my teammates, and you know, because it's something like we're preparing for the next game, you know. So that victory will give us more, you know, strength and you know, more confidence before the game.
The combative midfielder is looking forward to the coming round of qualifiers, insisting it is time for the Gambia to book its place in the 2012 African Nations Cup finals.
Going back to our clubs is just to be like, you know, train good and you know perform, because if you are performing in your team, then when you come here, like you can give the same or even more than that, you know. So it's just to be prepared and you know mentally and physically.
The fans are of importance to Gambia's qualifying quest, and Sohna could not conclude without hailing their efforts in the Scorpions' win over DR Congo.
It's like Ramadan, you know, and even if it was like 20 people, they come out like it's something. Because and even though like the stadium is not full, but we know every Gambians they are behind us, you know. So for me, it was just like the stadium was full. Yeah.
Both Ibrahim Sohna and his coach are hoping to collect maximum points in Namibia in September. A positive result in Windhoek will surely raise expectations ahead of the crunch game against Burkina Faso in Banjul. For GRTS Sports, I am Debuso.
And still on sports, Grts is pleased to inform its esteemed viewers that it will start live broadcast of the English